Thank you very much. Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues, esteemed professors, dear young researchers, dear friends. It gives me great pleasure as a senior mentor of the Central European Academy to open this year's annual scientific conference. I'm just coming from Germany from an IT conference, and they said if you organize something already 5 times, it's a tradition. If you organize it 10 times, it's an usus, a custom. And if you manage to organize something more than 15 times, then it is a cultural good. So let's head for that. But it is my pleasure to declare that now we are at the 4th annual scientific conference, which is a huge achievement. And I could not be prouder to see how far this community of the CEA has come. Actually, when the Central European Academy was first imagined, it was animated by a simple yet profound conviction, if not obsession, by the founders that the legal heritage of Central Europe deserves to be visible not only to ourselves, but to other parts of Europe and beyond. And we knew that if our voices were to be heard, we needed a forum where the nations, bless you, where the nations of the Central Europe could speak not in isolation, but we can speak together. We can raise our voices together. And a forum where we could learn from one another, confront our differences, and recognize our commonalities. A forum where, by being proudly Hungarian, Polish, Serbian, Croatian, Czech, Slovak, and so on, we could also fully experience what it means to be a European. And this conviction remains at the heart of today's conference too. And dear ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, allow me also to thank those who made this possible. The panels and the discussion we will enjoy over the next 2 days are the fruit of the PhD students of the Ferenc Deák Doctoral School of Law at the University of Miskolc and the Academy's research interns. It is rare to see a conference of such depth and breadth designed and organized by young scholars themselves. This is what makes us special. It is a conference built by the very generation it is meant to serve in the future. And if I may add a personal note, I regularly hold workshops with many of you, our PhD students. And for me, these meetings are among the most inspiring parts of my role at the Academy. They remind me that the future of law in Central Europe is in excellent hands. But let's move on to the program of this year's conference. And I think the program speaks for itself. It's very tense, very dense. The first day begins with the national reflections from Poland and Serbia, situating local challenges at the heart of our regional dialogue. Then we turn to major constitutional questions, the place of the European Union in national constitutions, an issue as topical as ever. And other panels bring historical perspective, such as the restitution of church property after totalitarian regimes, while others look toward the future, nuclear decommissioning, artificial intelligence in criminal justice, or judicial dialogue between European and national courts. We will also address pressing questions about the protection of crime victims in national and EU law, reminding us that legal debates ultimately serve human dignity. And on the second day, on Friday, the scope broadens even further. We will hear from Slovakian and Croatian scholars, followed by panels on children's rights and parental responsibility in a changing Europe. We will move to themes of employment law and family company succession, very special, as well as the right to work in human rights discourse. We will also see forward-looking debates on private international law and non-EU states, data protection in healthcare, non-standard employment, extended confiscation of criminal assets, and contemporary challenges of international criminal law. Taken together, this program offers nothing less than a panorama of Central European legal thought of today. And why does this all matter? Let us remember, these are not only academic questions. When we speak about the primacy of EU law, for example, or about the regulation of artificial intelligence, or about family rights in times of social change, we are speaking about questions that affect the daily lives of millions across the region. Your research, your debates, and your proposals have the potential to shape policy, to inspire reform, and thus strengthen our societies. And as a senior mentor, allow me, dear friends, to share a few thoughts for you, the young scholars at the heart of this event. Be bold, be open, be generous. Be bold, challenge accepted wisdom, test the limits of doctrine, and dare to ask the uncomfortable questions. Be open, listen across languages, cultures, and legal traditions. It is in the act of listening that we discover our shared values. And be generous. The friendships and professional ties you build here and now may last for a lifetime. They are just as important as the papers you write. Central Europe faces challenges that no single country can solve alone. Energy, digital transformation, constitutional resilience, just to name a few. By learning from one another and working together, we can build a shared Central European approach that enriches not only our region, but Europe as a whole. This is the very purpose of this academy and the shared responsibility of all of us. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud of what this community has achieved and even more hopeful for what lies ahead. Over the next 2 days, let us not only exchange ideas, but also build trust, confidence, and a sense of belonging to something greater than ourselves. So with all this, I wish you inspiring debates, fruitful exchanges, and above all, the joy of discovery. And it is my honor to declare the 4th Annual Scientific Conference of the Central European Academy open. Please enjoy the day. Thank you very much.